This is how to create a killer product page to 10x your conversions. Watch closely because many brands achieve serious growth from a series of consistent effort applied over time that eventually snowballs into a viral breakout moment. But all of that effort could become wasted potential if your product page fails to convert. So what makes a good product page that can capture that viral momentum and transform it into long-term sustainable growth? The best product pages follow these 12 rules, and I'm going to walk you through them all right now. I've spent the last 10 years obsessing over the small tweaks and big changes that can lead to massive e-commerce growth. So let's get into the 12 rules that you must follow to create high converting product pages. And to keep things interesting, let's use some D2C fan favorite brands to see what they're getting right and where they might be leaving money on the table. In today's video, we are going to be using Bombas socks, Chubbies shorts, and Allbirds sneakers as our examples to walk us through these 12 rules. And to start things off, let's get into a rule that may seem obvious, but too often I see brands breaking this, which is crystal clarity. Now, the thing about product pages on your own websites is that customers are coming from all sorts of different places in all different stages of their journeys. And so you need to recognize that you could be selling to everyone from a brand evangelist who loves your products and understands them inside and out, all the way to somebody that heard their favorite influencer mention your brand in a video offhandedly, or saw something on Instagram that caught their attention and they may know nothing about you. And so you need to make sure that you are clearly communicating what your product is and all of the important need to know details so that a customer can quickly understand what you're all about and why this product is a must-have. Let's see if Bombas is doing a great job of that or not. So we are going to one of their best sellers, which is the half calf women's vintage stripes half calf socks. And I think this is pretty straightforward, taller than a quarter, shorter than a half, and now with a retro design. So they're talking about the size. Obviously, the length of the sock is one of the big details, but there's also more important information like extra long staple cotton, seamless toes, stay up technology. That's pretty interesting. So they are making things super easy for us to be able to understand. They also have great images that are showing the length of the sock up close, all the details that we want to know. So they are acing clarity. The main bottom line here is you don't want to make assumptions about what your customers do or don't know. And remembering that they can arrive at all stages of awareness, from the very top of the funnel where they know nothing all the way down to somebody that's getting back to buy more products from you because they already know they love your brand. And you need to be talking to people from all of those different stages and making sure that every single person in that funnel is feeling seen, heard, and understood and is being moved closer to wanting to purchase from you. Lifestyle images that reflect your customers. So too often we see brands that are using stock images or really generic model photos. Maybe they're even using AI generated images that just look very standard, that are not reflective of their customer avatar. And that is a real missed opportunity to drive that connection with the people that you are targeting and to reinforce the idea that they are in the right place. So for this one, let's look at Chubbies because they do a great job in some parts of their website and less ideal than others. So right on their homepage, they do this great job of showing quirky men with a variety of different body types and sizes wearing their swim trunks. It really quickly captures the essence of what their brand is. But funny enough, when we get to their top selling item, the original stretch short Cacinators, it says their best selling original short with an elastic band and and their product images leave a lot to be desired because they are just showing us only one picture of the full body of the person, and it's only one body type. So he's not even in a real setting, he's just in a studio. And this would be a great spot where even if they don't have model photos, they could use user-generated content here. They have 8,400 plus reviews, almost a perfect 5 stars, and it would help customers understand how this product is going to look on them specifically if they had a more diverse range of images of different types of people wearing these shorts, which even when you scroll down to their reviews, you can see that they have those photos, and why not put them up there at the top and make it easier for customers to be able to envision how these would look on them, and maybe also even in different kinds of environments, because lifestyle photos are not just about the models, but also the environments that the models are in, to help customers begin to imagine themselves using the product in the setting that they would be using it. So if you're selling something that's for the kitchen and it's just in a white studio, then it's not going to have the same impact on a customer as seeing that item in a beautiful kitchen and then instantly starting to think about the ways that they will use it in their own kitchen. Real reviews. Let's go to Allbirds. Okay, so let's go back to point 2, which is lifestyle images. And this is perfection. Allbirds has a whole slider on their product page for their sneakers that is worn in the wild. In other words, showing people wearing this particular sneaker in a variety of different environments. Now, these do look like still model shots, but it's a great way to give that sense of how you can wear these in urban environments, on travels, maybe to old ruins, in nature, hiking. And so these are really shoes that can go on any adventure with you, is the idea that they are portraying with these additional images in the worn in the wild section. Now, if we go down, we see that they have over 11,000 reviews with an average 4.7, and they have this verified buyer. It shows us the size of shoe that they wear, what size they typically wear, and what they are wearing this shoe for. We also have pictures included with almost all of them. So these reviews, they are not those fake reviews, which I'm sure we've all seen plenty of, that just don't at all sound like a way that a customer would actually truly talk about an item. It feels very force-fed. So Allbirds is doing a great job of showing us real reviews, and those little details make a really massive impact, especially when you have those customer submitted photos of the product in action. It relates back to the lifestyle images point that we just spoke about, but it also gives enhanced credibility to the fact that these are legitimate reviews that are trustworthy, that give potential customers that reassurance that they are not being manipulated or swindled into buying something. Because the fact of the matter is that when you are trying to sell something on your own standalone website, that need for trust is so much higher than on a traditional marketplace. So if somebody's shopping on Amazon or Walmart or what have you, they have that reassurance from the larger marketplace that if something goes wrong, their purchase is protected. But the same does not necessarily apply in the mind of the shopper when they are shopping directly from a brand's website. And so it's so important to be thinking about that trust level from all of these different aspects. And in fact, you see that already these first 3 points, they all have an element of trust building to them. Crystal clear communication is to help people feel reassured that they understand the product and its function and that it's going to fit their needs. Lifestyle images that reflect real customers or in real environments. So again, showing people these products in real life, not just in a fabricated setting, and then real reviews with people interacting with the product, submitting images, all of those things go a long way to giving people that reassurance and confidence that they need to be able to buy from a brand that they may never have heard of before. Off-site presence. Now, I realize that this may seem counterintuitive. We're talking about product pages, but the fact is that, as I mentioned, if somebody is shopping from a brand they've never heard of, then they may go searching for reassurance that this brand is legitimate and is not going to scam them out of their money. And so they're going to be going to their preferred social media platforms or perhaps their favorite marketplaces to see if you show up there and what customers' experiences are like, maybe even just to price check things or see if they can get a better deal somewhere else. And so it's really important to make sure that not only are you showing up in these different places, but that you are providing a cohesive customer experience through and through, so that maybe a customer does decide that they want to buy your product on Amazon instead because they feel more secure doing that the first time. It's so much better to get that sale than to just lose that customer to a competitor who is on Amazon or somewhere else and is doing a better job. So this is one of those pieces that it's easy to overlook or maybe even dismiss as being unimportant, but it could have a significant impact on improving the conversion rate of customers that otherwise would just abandon ship entirely. Video achieves a few things. One is it's also continuing to show that product in the real world in a variety of different environments, but it's also sometimes capturing things that are not as easy to portray in a still image or text or just the combination of those two. So for example, the khaki shorts, it would be so much better if there was a video of somebody walking around in these shorts so that people could see how they move. Those kinds of details are important both for somebody to be able to gauge comfort level as well as to see what they're going to look like when they are actually wearing them, because you can make anything look good when you're standing still, but something can look very different when you are moving and active in it. And so short video of real people wearing these shorts would go a long way to helping Chubbies be able to convert those customers that may be a little bit skeptical or on the fence. Brand story, or ways of being able to communicate a little bit more about the brand experience that customers are buying into beyond just the product itself. So for example, Bombas socks. Bombas are expensive. It's $14 for one pair of socks, which I'm sure that you could go to a TJ Maxx or a Walmart or somewhere like that and get a whole pack of socks for that price. So they're asking people to invest a higher price point into buying their socks. So they're going to need to justify that. One way they do that is by having the story of purchase one and one gets donated. So they donate one essential clothing item for every one purchase. Real impact every day, powered by your purchases. So they are helping people understand and buy into something bigger than just the sock itself. And you can read in more depth about that if you want to, but it's something that's very important and core to their brand story. So similarly, Chubbies has what they call Foundation 43, which helps to support access to mental health care in the United States. It is not as clear if there's a percentage of the purchase that gets donated. I think that Bombas is more compelling with the way that they give that specificity of you buy one item and another item gets donated. Having perhaps a set percentage or a value amount would help to make this on Chubbies a little bit more compelling. Now, something else that we're not talking about today but is worth mentioning is that Chubbies' product page is quite messy and a little all over the place. And even the fact that they have this foundation section sort of just tossed into the middle in a kind of strange place is a real lost opportunity. They're also, aside from that one little piece, they're really not speaking to Chubbies as a brand. So I know a little bit about why they might have chosen the name Chubbies, but I'm honestly just drawing my own conclusions. based on people telling me about the brand, because it's nowhere to be found here on their product page. Clear return policy. Are you sensing a theme here? We have two main buckets, which are really just all pouring into one massive bucket, which is building customer trust and reassuring them that they are going to get what they are after. They're going to be taken care of in the event that they're not happy with it, and that they are not going to get stuck having spent a lot of money and now feeling unhappy that they didn't get what they had wanted. So a clear return policy is super duper important, especially if there are limitations on that. Allbirds, let's see. Do they help me understand their return policy? They absolutely do, in multiple places directly from the product page. So I don't need to be going and searching for this information or working hard or reading through any fine print. They show me here in this accordion shipping and returns section. And then in case it wasn't clear enough for me, right above the reviews, they restate it again: free shipping on orders over $75, easy returns within 30 days. And then if you want to just go into a store, you can do that too. So they make it very clear exactly what their return policy is, and you can even lightly wear these shoes and then they will be donated. So super simple to understand. Now, Chubbies does also have free returns and exchanges within 30 days. There you click learn more, and it has a fun little 100% hassle-free returns that explains how their return policy works. So I think that's pretty good. My biggest complaint with that is that, similar to their inclusion of the foundation section, is all of this information is just jammed all together in a way that is difficult to parse apart and differentiate. And even just with some slight design tweaks, they could make this all stand out in a way that would make it easier for customers to be able to find it. In Bombas, we don't even have to scroll: free shipping plus free returns, and then we can click the free return details there. So you see how Bombas, this is so much cleaner and easier to navigate versus that Chubbies page that I was talking about. And it really does make a big difference for a customer who is wanting to buy from you. And not to mention the fact that if somebody is on their phone, all of this becomes more difficult to navigate, more extra clicking, all of that stuff. Any area where you are creating extra friction or confusion, you are going to lose customers. And people want to know, can I return this item? Because if they have never experienced your brand before, then they are taking a risk in trusting you that the product is going to meet their expectations. And so many people are going to want that reassurance. And they've also been trained by companies like Amazon or Walmart or any of these large big box retailers that that's something that they can come to expect, and it helps reduce that risk. And so you need to, if you have a good return policy, make that clear. And if you have rules around returns, make that clear also, because otherwise you're going to expose yourself to extra chargebacks and unhappy customers and negative attention on social media, and you do not want the hassle of any of that. A variety of payment options cannot be overstated. If you're selling on Shopify, then you have that access to being able to accept all the credit cards along with Apple Pay and Shop Pay and all the things. Something else that you may want to consider, especially if you are a less known brand, is having Buy with Prime installed on your site, which means that you are allowing Amazon to take care of all of the fulfillment and the payment processing. And this has been shown to increase conversion rates on sites that install it. And so this, again, is another way to be able to build that trust and is really valuable and important for customers. It would be a real shame to have a customer ready to buy your product and then changes their mind because of limited payment options. So you want to make sure not only to have the main credit cards, but PayPal, all of those different methods that help customers pay not only in the way that they want, but as seamlessly as possible. Okay, we need a compelling reason to buy. You might be shocked that this is so far down the list, but you can't really get there without covering a lot of the super important basics. So why should a customer spend $14 on a pair of socks, for example? That's a big ask. So part of it aesthetically looks very cute, looks very of the moment style wise. But they're not stopping there. Lots of people can design cute looking socks. So they talk about that it is a premium fiber that's not only going to be really comfortable, but it's going to hold up and last really well. They also have that seamless toe. So it eliminates the annoying bump that runs across the toes of most socks. So this is a unique defining design feature that also helps to justify their more premium price point. And then this stay up technology, which they describe is a perfect tension and elasticity to help keep your socks exactly where you want them, tight but not too tight. So they're really speaking to the fact that these socks have been engineered to perfection to help resolve frustrations and irritations, as well as to be long lasting, to help you look cute, to help you feel great. You're also going to feel good inside because you're going to help donate products to someone in need. And so they are giving us lots of compelling reasons why this product is a must buy. And then you can also click to see even more details. Allbirds is following a very similar structure. So made from nature, wear all day support, easy to clean. So they've decided that these are the three big highlights that are going to help to really set apart these shoes from other sneakers that customers might be considering buying. So the fact that you can just throw them in the washing machine, that they're super duper comfortable, and that they're actually made from natural ingredients all work together to really form the foundation that they have built their brand upon. And then when we contrast that with Chubbies, we see how that 4 or 3 panel highlights how much more visually attractive and engaging those are than having this fabric and fit section right here wedged between a bunch of other details. So seriously, they're like the friggin' best. Movable, stretchable, like that's cool, but who's really going to read this part about the fabric? Talking about the inseam, ideal for squats and roundhouse kicks. So they're showing some of their personality and brand identity, which isn't reflected anywhere else on this product page. Elastic waistband and an updated fit. What does updated fit mean? That they have pockets, including a single back pocket that's large enough for the largest of iPhones or Android. We hear you. Again, a little bit of humor, but it's just not presented in a way that's going to be functional for most people looking at it because there's so much going on. It's so cluttered. So we're going back to that clarity, but also just the way that they are designing things is making it difficult for customers to be able to find and identify and consume that need to know information that is really giving people a compelling reason to buy. Okay, we're close to the finish line. We just have a few more rules, and then you're off to the races to start optimizing your product pages to boost those conversion rates. But before we finish, easy to differentiate between options. So we know that customers might be considering a few different things, whether it's different models of shoes in the case of Allbirds, or different types of materials of socks, or in the Caconators stretch shorts on Chubbies, the inseams might be one of the things. And so I would argue that because one of the key defining things of Chubbies is that they have this wide range of inseams for their shorts. It's really one of the integral features of what makes this brand stand out and beloved by so many people is they need to make it easy for customers to understand what the different inseams are designed for. So we have really short 2-inch inseams, and look how far I have to scroll to get there. The 2-inch inseam doesn't even tell me what the 2-inch inseam is great for. If I go to the 4-inch inseam and I scroll down, I don't get that either. But on the 5.5, it tells me ideal for squats and roundhouse kicks. And the 7-inch is nothing will make your thighs look as good as these, which is confusing also because these ones don't show your thighs. So wouldn't that be maybe some of the really short inseams? Regardless, they could do a much better job at helping people select which inseam is going to be most appropriate for them. And I would argue maybe even having that little blurb right up here in near the inseam instead of something that you're going to be scrolling all the way down from. It's just not super functional the way that it's designed. Versus if we go to Allbirds, then we see they have more to shop. So they're showing us a variety of their other shoes. Also on Bombas, they are showing us a sock for every occasion, whatever your feet need, you're covered. And that leads us into the next rule, which is cross promotion. If somebody's already on your website and they are wanting to try some items from your brand, make it super simple for them to see some of your top sellers and not even have to go scrolling through and clicking lots of extra places, but you just show them front and center on the product page what else they should be considering. So if we go to Bombas, I love this, a sock for every occasion, whatever your feet need, you're covered. So maybe I just want to try casual, athletic, compression, merino. Well, maybe I just want to buy a pair of every sock, and I can do that right here. And I'm going to see that as I'm scrolling down to see the reviews. Allbirds does that too, but more to shop isn't quite as impactful, but smartly they do have women's and men's here because it's possible that the person responsible for shopping in the household may also want to buy pairs of shoes for other people in their lives. And so to be able to see the top ones for men and women is super duper smart. Chubbies does this with the recommended for you section, but continues to just not be super effective in the way they do it. Even this size selector, the way that it pops up when I try to see the images is just not very customer friendly. I'm sorry, Chubbies, but look at these as opportunities for quick wins and easy changes that you can make to boost your conversion rate. And last but not least, free shipping seems obvious, but it's not enough to have free shipping. You want to make it clear to customers that you have free shipping. And especially if you're selling a lower cost item, then there are all sorts of pricing strategies that go into how you can use that free shipping limit in order to increase the total cart value. And when you combine it with some really great cross promotional strategies like what we've seen with Bombas and Allbirds, then it's a great way to be able to get people trying a few of your products and earning that free shipping. So we see here right at the very top of the page on Allbirds, they have the free shipping noted right by the price. They also reiterate it right where you're going to be clicking add to cart. It shows that you get free 2-day shipping on orders of $75. And then they have that in the shipping and returns. They have it here in this little banner above the top. So they understand how important free shipping is. They clarify what you need to spend in order to achieve that. And they make sure that they are including it over and over and over again so that nobody misses it. Versus I go to Chubbies and without scrolling, I see zero mention of shipping one way or the other. I need to scroll a little bit and then I see free returns and exchanges within 30 days, but still nothing about shipping. It just says delivery, but it doesn't say if it's free or not or what I need to spend to achieve it. And it's all the way down here, a section that I have to click open, shipping and returns. It shows me that free shipping on orders over $150. That's the only place that I see anything about free shipping. So what a difference with Allbirds, where they are including it in these key places so it's easy to find and it's reinforcing that important information, versus Chubbies where it's hidden. Not only is it making it potentially a lost sale because people don't want to have to pay for shipping, but also it is failing to help people understand what they're going to have to spend in order to qualify for that. So if I was looking at buying a pair of these shorts, then I would in my mind want to get used to needing to buy a few pairs or a couple of pairs and something else in order to be able to qualify for that free shipping. So what a difference between those two experiences. So these are all the 12 rules that you must follow in order to maximize your product page conversion potential. But all of this assumes that customers are actually going to arrive at your product pages. However, with the rise of AI shopping, the likelihood of customers ever even making it to your website is growing increasingly smaller, which means that you need to do everything you possibly can, not only to convert customers on your website, but also persuade and convert customers wherever they might be discovering your brand and your product. And there is one key piece in particular that you maintain full control over when you are appearing in those AI shopping results. And lucky for you, I have a video that goes into the exact strategy that you need to follow to maximize your conversion potential when you are showing up in those AI shopping results. So go ahead, click over there right now. I expect to see you over there, but in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Bye.